Hey, welcome to the Blue Line. I'm Alf DeBlasis. He's Mark Fera, Toronto Maple Leaf guy, and this is the TBL podcast. Mark, last time we talked about how Kyle Dubas has been hamstrung with all these high-end contracts, something he really inherited from Lou Lamoriello. But you've got an interesting way on how we can go about moving one of those contracts out and lightening the load a little bit on Dubas. Why don't you tell us about that?
Oh boy, lots of Leaf fans are not going to be a fan of this one, but let's do this. Guys, Mitch Marner is the one that has to go, okay? I hate to say it, and Torontonians are famous for falling in love with the little Canadian. We look at the Ty Domies, the Wendell Clark, the Doug Gilmores, all excellent players. But when you look at some of the trades we made for some of those players, including the Wendell Clark trade, which often people criticize because they weren't Matt Sundin fans until he left, okay? I look at Mitch Marner as a guy who has amazing vision. He can see the puck and see the open space like nobody can. But I don't believe that he obtains or has an NHL shot with consistency, even though his stats in the goals definitely rose this year. But you could look at that series with Montreal last year, where Montreal bet their money by saying, we're going to stick our top defensive forward and our top defenseman, watching Matthews, keeping him to the perimeter, and we're going to give Marner many free passes to the net. We're going to put our money on Price. And sure enough, they would win that battle. At $11 million for this team to go to the next level, we're either going to need a star goaltender or a star defenseman. And Morgan Rielly, I'm not sure is that true number one defenseman that we need. And find me a Stanley Cup champion that hasn't had an elite goaltender, or at least a goaltender who hasn't been standing on their head. Look at Jordan Binnington, originally started the season as their fourth string starter, became a bona fide star through those Stanley Cup playoffs. You need to have something like that. I'm tending to lead towards getting that big stud defenseman with a prospect at a pick, but nonetheless, losing that $11 million salary and turning it into something that you could utilize. Matthews is going to score no matter who he's with. He's always done it. And I like the idea of a guy like Kane playing on the wing of McDavid, because he was a true, legitimate, bona fide power forward, someone that every time that puck was dumped in the corner, you were thinking about. Nobody's afraid of going into the corner with Mitch Marner. And let's also keep in mind that last year he led the National Hockey League in giveaways that led to game-winning goals. Some facts that people often don't pay attention to because they look at those glorious passes. He's a high-risk, high-reward player, which means he's going to be on the highlight reel in both ways. He's going to have the most beautiful passes in the world to set up the best goal scorer in the National Hockey League, but he's also going to have some really bad giveaways that are going to cost this team. And when you want to win a Stanley Cup, you need to minimize those.
So there you have it, Leaf super fans. Mitch Marner, Mark Fera says, should be on his way out. Tell us what you think here at the Blue Line.